So it's getting a little cold here in Germany, so we decided to kickstart the castle heating system. Now, unlike most modern homes, which either have a forced air furnace or an electrical system, the castle uses a hot water radiator system. So I've been spending the last 3 days trying to reverse engineer this system and trying to get these radiators to function properly. To access the heating system, we have to go into the bowels of the castle. So that means we have to go down these steep steps and then take a turn to the right through this tunnel and on the right, go across here through this door where the system resides. The heart of the heating system is this boiler furnace, which generates all the hot water that's distributed to the radiators, as well as give us hot water for our bathrooms and kitchens. The boiler furnace uses heating oil, or Heiss oil, which it draws from this 10,000 liter tank also located in the basement. It's about 1/3 full now, but we're adding another 2,500 liters because we have no idea how much we're going to consume over the winter. Pumps in the basement then push the hot water up into the attic, where it's distributed through these large distribution pipes and then pushed down to the 59 radiators that make up the heating system in the castle. That's right, 59 radiators. 95% of the radiators look like this. They're made of solid cast iron, they're incredibly heavy, and they come with a TRV valve, or a thermostatic radiator valve, which controls the flow of hot water in and out of the radiator based on the temperature of the room. So the higher the number, the higher the temperature in the room can get before the valve tries to restrict the hot water flow. So how does it do that? Well, typically these things are filled with either wax or fluid that expands and contracts as the temperature in the room changes. That then drives this pin in or out, which controls the amount of hot water flowing through the radiator. Now on every radiator, we have one of these devices attached to it. There's no obvious electrical connections. There's no easy way to take them off. They have a unique ID number, a cumulative scale with a red indicator. But when I turn the radiators on and they heat up, nothing happens. These things just stay at 0. So I did a little bit of research and convinced with some folks on Reddit and discovered these are calorimeters. And what they're used for is to determine the amount of energy the radiator uses over a period of time. Well, how does a simple device like this measure energy output? Well, when you remove the rivet at the bottom and take the cover off, you find this vial. What would happen is that this vial would be filled with a fluid, either water or maybe an alcohol-based fluid with a known evaporation rate. And then they would come and periodically check. And based on the level of the fluid in that vial, they could determine how much energy the radiator used over a period of time.
The interesting thing about calorimeters, or appropriately calorimeters, is that they're still really used today in Germany, whether they're models like this or more modern versions. The reason being is there's still a lot of old buildings in Germany that rely on centralized heating, whether it's water or steam-based. So landlords use this to determine what to charge their tenants for their energy usage when they use the radiators. They have them attached to the radiators for their tenants, and then they take periodic readings and then calculate what that energy cost bill will be for their tenants. Why we have so many in this castle is I suspect that this castle has served in a multi-tenant mode in its past. So I'm sure the same thing happened, is that landlords or the tenants used that to determine how much energy they were consuming and what that cost was going to be.
So the challenge that I have has been trying to get all of these radiators to run at a similar temperature on a similar setting across all the rooms. It's called balancing the system. And doing this across 59 radiators over 3 stories has been interesting, to say the least. Wow, that made me dizzy. It's going to be really interesting to see over the coming weeks and months how much fuel we consume and how warm this system's going to keep us when it gets really cold.